Hello. So today, as part of this video, we are going to see, how we are going to create the specifications for, or you can say the documentation for our MCP server. So in last video, we have seen we have created the MCP server through MCP client or agent force. Okay, we are going to call them. Okay, now just we have seen like the only from the code point of view the implementations, but what if we need to document the things, so that anyone can able to refer that and able to understand what is the purpose of that particular MCP server. What all kinds of the MCP tools listeners are available, and what like other things like the resources, the logging informations, along with the what kind of the prompts we can able to support. So we have seen that as part of this API into this exchange. okay like if you go, we can able to see inside this agent and tools. We can able to publish our MCP. So these are the few default MCP, which has been published by already the MuleSoft. Like see, if we are going to see this PayPal one, so these are the external services, where some, like suppose the PayPal has been designed and develop our MCP. These are the PayPal MCP server, which has been developed by the PayPal. But here as part of that, we have registered into the exchange. So now I think here it is the provision of registering or like publishing this MCP assets, either which is the external or internally we have documented. So here like official remote MCP server built and managed by PayPal to connect LLM apps to the PayPal. So if you see here, this is the MCP server details they have given. And if you see this home, learn more here how to connect with the PayPal. So if you go to click over there, it is going to redirect you to the PayPal site, where they have developed their this MCP server. And they are going, like suppose through this our cursor or any LLM, if we have to connect with. So this is the way we can able to add these things into our mcp.json, and we can be able to connect it. So these are, so as part of this, we are basically going to refer which one. So the purpose of this video to explain the purpose of this creating an MCP server. So what this docs.mulesoft.com is saying about this creating the asset as a MCP server, like MCP server provides the protocol and a specification for seamless integration between different AI system and tools. MCP server schema files are in JSON format. They define the definition of tools, the data structure they use, and authentications. Upload the schema file to use when creating an MCP server asset. So the minimum required property for a MCP server schema file is transport over SSC, like server sent event or HTTP. If you declare capabilities, you must have all 4 capability flag. So one is the tools, one is the resources, third is prompts, and fourth is the login. If you provide tools, resource, or prompts, each must have name and identifier fields. So these are some guidelines which this has been mentioned. So this is the sample file, the minimum required transport properties. It is there. So we are going to like since the beginning I have taken the example of the case management. So here I have created one of the JSON specifications. You can say, like where I have, if you see, I have mentioned this transport. So this is the mandatory one. So minimum requirement where we need to be transport. So it is kind of the estimable HTTP. Either you can put the SSC as well, and path is there. This is the provider just for the reference or documentation. So I have just put this the link of this page. And here is the capability which it is going to say. So if you are going to define the capability, you can define tools, resources, prompt, logging. But we have this flexibility, we can able to mention as a false as well. Like suppose if the prompts we are not supposed to add, we can mark as a false. So here suppose logging label I have put as a info. Okay, now coming to tools. Tools is nothing but our tools listener, which we have already seen. That is going to be the expose as a tools whenever a particular LLM client is going to connect. Okay, so this is the just the, you can say, the source or initiator where the request is going to consume. Okay, so now for each tools, like we have seen, like at least name and identifier is required, so that we have given it. Okay, this is the descriptions of that. Okay, and what is this tools, how this we are going to connect with this particular tool. So http, through http method should be post and path should be create. And these tools, this create case is also expecting few input data. Okay, so this way we can define like object, property, subject, description. Okay, and we can also mark, okay, these are the required. Okay, at least these two things are required. Okay, although you can pass all, but at least these two things is required. Apart from that, we can also able to define our output schemas. Okay, so what should be the output of this particular tools. Similar way I have done for the update case. Okay, same way like the http one. Okay, so here the input schema is there. Okay, right, the output schema is there. Okay, so these all way like we can able to define our these tools. Okay, so coming to the next, so this is by get case by number. So this is similar way the other tools. Now if you want to use the resource, so what happens, like sometimes our MCP is going to fetch some of the configuration value or template informations, which is the basically read only informations which is available somewhere. Okay, some different path, and that we are going to fetch and use it. Okay, how we can be able to use that resource, okay, during the processing, that we'll see in our upcoming videos. So just for the understanding here I am discussing this. Okay, so those we can able to define resources over here. Like suppose my MCP into case management system. Okay, if something is going to come, okay, like this authentications. Okay, and this is going to validate with the some of the resource, like the to do the lookup somewhere. Okay, fetching this. Okay, or maybe like suppose think from that perspective, like suppose there is a email. Okay, and your MCP server is supposed to send the email, but there are few templates, like suppose the case registered, case closed, case escalated. So certain types of things we have created different templates, and which is going to store somewhere. Okay, and this template is being used, okay, dynamically. Okay, although these are the static contents, but their value is dynamic. So on the basis of the case status, okay, it is going to used by your MCP server. Okay, and we are going to send this. So these kind of things, the template configurations which are the static in nature, and those are the only the read only, we can consider as a resource and we can put over here. Okay, so for the timing I have just used this path, which is the create MCP one, to see like. Now this is the prompt, how we can able to also give the ideas looking into that. Okay, like suppose if you have to fetch kind of things. Okay, so like suppose fetch a case details by case number or case ID. So just for the example, okay, this kind of the prompts is required whenever you are going to fetch a case details through case number or case ID. Okay, platform is important. Okay, like this MCP server whatever you have built up, okay, this is going to host on the which kind of the platforms. Okay, either MuleSoft, Node.js, or some other platforms. Okay, so on the basis of that we are supposed to provide this. Okay, so let's see, like although I have this design. Okay, and let's see how we can able to publish and to our assets. Okay, so let me quickly go here, and if you see the exchange, we have the agent and tools. Okay, so let me publish this. So I'm saying that MCP case management, MCP case management mule MCP, right? So that is the name I have given here. The asset type, if you see, it's saying agent, customs, asyncs, lots of the. So there is also, you can see the MCP where the add, this is nothing but model context protocol asset that provide the protocols and a specification for seamless integration between different AI system and tools. So let me select over here. If you see, the MCP has been there. Okay, this is the MCP schema, is the optional, like you can able to choose that file. So I have created. Okay, here see, the file should be JSON file, detail of MCP server including available tools and authentication. So we are not using any authentications as of now, but let me, so this is the MCP case. Open here. If you see, the platform or service used to host these assets. Okay, so these assets, whatever you have created, where it is going to host, either Agentforce or MuleSoft. Okay, so this is the reason we have mentioned this platform. So let's select the MuleSoft. Okay, lifestyle state, the lifestyle state of assets, so it in a status in the software development life cycle from development to a stable release. Okay, now consider as a stables. Okay, now let me publish it. Okay, so it's publishing the assets, processing. So here you can see this has been published here. Okay, now we are good to edit this. Okay, and we can write here documentation, the purpose of this. Okay, and if you can see, as part of a specification, the details we can able to see, like this is the protocol version, this is the provider, platform is the MuleSoft, transport is C streamable, this capability is also showing, all the capabilities are there. If you click this, okay, so it is going to redirect over here because I have marked the same things. Okay, now coming to the tools, so if you see the create case, update case, get case by, and so these are the tools we have created here. So if you see this resources, okay, like readme uses an example for the case MCP server. So that is the whatever we are going to mention in this resource, we are going to see over there. If you see the prompts, this is the fetch. Okay, fetch I have declared, fetch a case details by case number or case ID. Okay, apart from that, here it a MCP server. Okay, so if you want to manage your MCP server, like suppose this MCP server has been already deployed, okay, in your like a mule environment, in your this API managers are there, so you can go to the API managers. Okay, and you can able to add those. Okay, since my MCP server is not using this anypoint manager, so here from like anywhere, like suppose consider this one I am taking. Okay, so here you can able to take this instance. Okay, you can take that instance, so it is going to be the registered over here. Okay, let's see, although it should not work, but here you can see, because this is not the MCP one, right? But this way, like whenever this you are supposed to add it, okay, it is going to add it over here. Okay, so this is called the managed one. Managed ones means like this is going to be the manage this MCP server as part of your this MuleSoft ecosystems. Okay, there is another one called the add non-managed server. Okay, like suppose this is some things like this has been either internally or externally, this has been there. Okay, so we either see, so managed server is going to as part of the go to the API manager, which is as part of our any point platform ecosystem. Non-managed server is, that is the we are not managing this server, someone else is, like suppose the PayPal, GitHub we have seen, so we can able to add the server. So just we need to add the server name, or we can add the URL, like where is the server. But if your the server is managed, we are good to go to the API managers. Okay, and let me see if any things are there or not. I'm not sure like anything is there. Okay, it's not there because not there. Maybe I will try to see this into the another upcoming video, but this is the overall understanding how we can able to add our manage or non-manage MCP server. So if you go to the assets lists, okay, so here you can see the case management mule MCP server is already added. Okay, so this is how like looking into we can be able to understand, okay, what is the purpose of this Mule MCP server, okay, and what are all the details, tools, resources, prompts, okay, along with their URL, whether it is managed or non-managed. Okay, so hope you are going to like explore by yourself, and you like this video. Okay, thanks for watching.